Good evening and welcome back to Falcon Update here on Yellow Breeches Television. I'm Jessica Fannin.
And I'm Julia Kropp.
The Student Government Association and Campus Ministries have worked and advocated for this Tuesday, September 17th, to be a campus-wide Sabbath. There will be no classes, including night classes, with soft programming from clubs around campus. Students are encouraged to take this day as a time for rest, participate in activities they enjoy, and take the time to reflect on Christ and his creation. To conclude Sabbath, there will be a service held at the Grantham Church at 7 p.m. You can visit SGA's Instagram at Messiah SGA to read about how different members of the Messiah community view rest.
Before she passed, Amy West Cardoso graduated from Messiah in 2013, achieving great success as a young artist. Her goal to point audience to the beauty and complexity of God's creation order is especially prevalent in her work currently on display. Titled Hope Revealed, the installation shows her last body of paintings, which depict God entering the temple veil, inspired by Matthew 27:51. Her work is currently on display in the Augenbog Art Gallery through October 18th, with a reception and celebration to come on Homecoming weekend. A memorial scholarship has been erected in Cardoso's name and will provide aspiring art students at Messiah to the opportunity to pursue their calling in her footprints.
SAB gave students the opportunity to express themselves through their personal taste in music with Jukebox Night. Students could go to the student engagement desk, have snacks, and queue up their favorite Messiah-approved music to be played in the union. SAB Representative Grace Chang spoke to YBTV on the importance of students having this opportunity to have their personal music played.
Allows people to connect through music in a way that they wouldn't necessarily be able to otherwise, because music is a form that can be very intimate, but also can display very much a lot of likes and dislikes and can bond people together.
For more information about upcoming SAB events, follow SAB on Instagram at Messiah SAB.
We'll be back with more Falcon Update after the break.
What drew me to Messiah was when I was looking for graduate programs, that it was real people and they were welcoming me to the program. They were interested in who I was as a person, they were interested in my career goals, and they truly just welcomed me before I was even a student.
At Messiah University, in our graduate program of Business and Leadership, we offer an MBA with various concentrations, a Master of Arts in Healthcare Leadership, a Master of Arts in Strategic Leadership, and various graduate certificates. All of our graduate programs in Business and Leadership are accredited by ACBSP, which is the main governing body for business programs, both at the graduate and undergraduate level.
So I found that the online instruction at Messiah was high quality. Definitely a good experience, and an experience that maintained community, even though we were separated by geography sometimes of considerable distances.
Our online courses are capped at 15. This enables students to really develop a deep connection with faculty as they're being mentored throughout the program.
They brought their business experience to every single class. So our professors are teaching us, this is what it's like in the real world, and this is how you can take all the stuff out of this book, all this leadership theory, and practically apply it in the workplace.
I would highly recommend Messiah's programs because I feel very cared for by the faculty. They do a great job of making you apply your faith to where you're working. The MBA program is a good reminder that you can be a faithful business professional, and I just feel like I'm becoming a better person and I'm going to be a better future leader because of this program.
Welcome back to Falcon Update. I'm Jessica Fannin.
And I'm Julia Kropp. Jessica, how was your week?
It was good. I had a pretty busy week last week. I had lots of classes, but I did find time to get involved in the rhythmic cycling classes. I got my membership at the gym. Have you done those classes before?
I haven't. I've heard such good things about them, but I have a hard time fitting them into my schedule, but they sound so fun.
Yeah, and I bet you get a bunch of time in the dance studio, get your fitness in there.
Yes, I do.
But other than that, I went home this weekend to see my grandmom, and I know that you had some fun plans. Tell me about your weekend.
Yeah, my weekend I went home, well, I went away for my friend's wedding. It was super fun, super great to see some people from back home and celebrate her. Yeah, it was a really fun time.
I love weddings,
Yeah.
and sounds like it was a sweet weekend.
It was.
So let's see what's going on around campus. Garrett Fannin has your campus calendar.
Hello guys, I'm Garrett Fannin and I'm delivering your YBTV campus calendar. Let's get right into it. On Tuesday, we have an in-service day. In-service is a day that everyone holds very near and dear, where there are no classes all day. However, there will be a chapel credit at Grantham Brethren Christ Church at 7 p.m. Be sure to give yourself a break, turn off all alarms, sleep in, and enjoy some extra Splenda in your coffee. Or maybe this is a day where you catch up on any work you may have. Either way, I hope everyone takes advantage of this day because you know I will. On Thursday, the Career and Professional Development Center will be hosting a Pizza with Professionals from 12 to 1 p.m. at the Welcome Center, room 310. This is a great place to engage with respected alumni working in publishing and discover other amazing opportunities. I mean, hey, you had me a free pizza, you know what I mean? On Friday, the High Center will be hosting a Winds and Symphonic Winds Ensemble. This event is free and will take place from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. in Palmer Hall High Center. Come and get a break from schoolwork and feel some amazing, blissful music. I hope you have your film cameras on because this weekend is the 48-hour film challenge. The rules and regulations will be sent out to those who sign up. To sign up, you can either scan the QR code on posters or the one on this screen, find the mass email, or find it on the SAB Instagram. Films will be a minimum of 2 minutes with a maximum of 5, with a team made up of no more than 5 people. A screening and award ceremony will be held Sunday, September 22nd, starting at 7:30 p.m. I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with. More details are on the QR code. On Saturday, Junior Daniel Mixtion will be hosting a voice recital from 4 to 5 p.m. in the High Center. Bring your friends and indulge in this euphonic, noteworthy event. That's all today, folks. Thank you.
Thank you, Garrett. Let's see what Ethan Gregory has for us in this week's Falcon Forecast.
Thank you, Jess and Julia, and welcome back to Falcon Forecast. I'm your host, Ethan Gregory, and we'll take a look at the weather for this week and tonight as we go on. Tonight, we have a temperature of around 69 degrees. It was a great day today. The sun was out. The clouds came out a little bit later in the evening. We witnessed a temperature of 77 degrees today earlier in the middle of the afternoon, and then a low of 54. But going on to the next, tomorrow, we're going to have just as good of a day. We're going to have a high of 73 around 3 p.m. It's going to get warmer as the day continues to go on, and then in the evening, we'll see that waxing gibbous moon take over as the temperature starts to decline. Moving on to our surface map, we can see here that we'll have a little bit of a heat index pull up into Pennsylvania, as well as some rain possibly on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 40s to 60% chances for those 3 days. On to the next, we have our dew points. And let me tell you, it is moist. As we see 68 on Wednesday, 66 on Thursday, and 63 on Friday, so it will be a little bit humid throughout this week. And then finally, we'll head to our 7-day forecast as we'll look here. We have on Wednesday 74, Thursday 75, Friday 76, with a low of 62, Saturday 74, Sunday 74, and then back when we see you again on Monday, we'll have a high of 77. It's going to be a beautiful week as summer ends on Sunday as well. So Falcons, make sure you get out tomorrow on your off day, maybe float down the beaches, hang out with some friends, and enjoy that beautiful sunny weather. That's all for Falcon Forecast, sending it back to the desk.
Thanks so much, Ethan. For this week's Falcon on the Street, Garrett Fannin took to campus to ask students what tips they wish they had known before coming to college for the first time.
Hi, welcome back to this week's edition of Falcon on the Street. Today, we're at the Falcon asking students what they wish they knew about college before coming to Messiah.
I think actually doing my work. High school, you don't have to do high school work. College work, you actually got to put effort into.
Don't procrastinate your work.
I would say that everyone is in the same boat, and like if you feel like no one wants to hang out or do fun things and you're the only one, like everyone else does too, so you should just like say yes and like ask people to hang out and
So what I would say is don't be afraid to say yes to new opportunities so that you can open new doors in your life, but also don't be afraid to say no to ones that aren't for you or stuff that's going to drain your energy, and take your time.
Having a randomized roommate isn't the worst case scenario.
Take advantage of getting involved.
So something I wish I knew before getting into Messiah was, I guess I wish I could have better managed my time, especially when it came to like bigger projects. Like, oh yeah, that's due like another time, I'll get that done, and then it like catches up to you. So I wish I did that better.
Oftentimes I wish that I would come into college like undeclared, because oftentimes a lot of like students would come in not knowing what major they want to do, or they would start with one but then switch many times. It never really occurred to me that if I just like started undeclared and then figured out as things go, I would like finally land on a major that I want to do.
Personally, I would not wait last minute on projects. But anyways, that's all for Falcon on the Street today. I'm Garrett Fannin, and thank you so much for tuning in.
Thanks, Garrett. Jessica, what are some tips you wish you knew before coming to college at Messiah?
Yeah, so this is something that I've been thinking of lately, is simplifying my schedule. I think when I was a freshman and a sophomore, I was a little overambitious with my time, and I got really excited and committed myself to way more than I had time for. So just learning to simplify my schedule and having the time to really put into things that are important is something that I wish I knew.
Yeah,
How about you?
I get that a lot. I would say a tip is to not be afraid to like go to your professors. They're there to help you. They're not as intimidating as I expected them to be, I think. So they're there to help you and take advantage of their office hours, I would say.
Yeah, our professors are really not that scary.
Yeah. For this week, Charlie Jones did some digging into Messiah's history in serving and providing aid to the Harrisburg community.
Thanks, Julia. Welcome back to the Vault, where I unlock Messiah's history 1 week at a time. I'm your host, Charlie Jones. Messiah has a long history of generosity and charity. One great example is the Messiah Lifeways organization. In 1896, Katie Ann Myers and her husband, Minister John Myers, founded Messiah Rescue and Benevolent Home. Using locally raised funds, they acquired half of an existing building at 1175 Bailey Street in Harrisburg. They set out to aid the impoverished community by providing a home for those in need, as well as food, laundry, and other essential services run solely by volunteers. Just 1 year after they opened their doors, the home was torn down and rebuilt into a 3-story building with a chapel that could seat up to 300 congregants. The Brethren in Christ Church was vital in the establishment of the home and, in May of 1899, formally accepted ownership over it. As time went on, the home's population continued to increase, and the organization constructed a new building to accommodate for the larger number of residents. In July of 1935, the home's oldest resident, 99-year-old Elizabeth King, was the first to break ground on the new Paxton Street site, and after 3 shovelfuls of dirt, she said, "Das ist genug," meaning, that is enough. The home continued to operate on the Paxton Street site for the next 42 years. By the 1960s, the home once again became overcrowded, and new safety regulations meant expensive renovations would be required to keep it open. After much consideration, they acquired a farm near Mechanicsburg along Route 15, where it still remains today. In 1978, they opened the facility under the new name of Messiah Village. Today, Messiah Village has grown into Messiah Lifeways, offering a wide variety of services such as home care, wellness, nursing care, and so much more. Messiah Lifeways embodies the generous spirit of the Brethren in Christ organization that is felt throughout all Messiah operations. If you'd like to know more,
please go check out Messiah Lifeways' website. That's all for this week, but tune in next time when I unlock the vault.
Thanks, Charlie. After the break, Danny and Brandon have you updated on Messiah Sports. You don't want to miss it.
Being able to talk about faith and Christianity and what that means is important to me, because working in a secular environment, a lot of times questions of ethics and morality come into play. And I think having a faith-based education really equips people and our students to be able to go out into the workforce and be able to serve their communities ethically and morally and be confident about who they are in their Christianity.
The MSAT at Messiah University is a 2-year master degree that's also paired with students that will be completing the 5-year accelerated MSAT, completing their bachelor's and their master's. We have experienced, dedicated, passionate athletic training faculty that are ready to teach the next generation of athletic trainers, to teach our students how to integrate their faith into their role as a healthcare provider. And we have a strong and growing list of clinical experiences that will allow students to experience athletic training in a variety of settings.
Messiah has helped me see my career anew because of the multiple opportunities that I have on campus to travel with the career centers. And so because of that, I've been able to obtain an internship through Messiah, and that's just amazing. I never would have gotten that opportunity without Messiah.
I am so grateful for the ways that Messiah has helped me see my career anew. Thanks to my education and this journey at Messiah, I was able to achieve my goal of being a professor. And so every day I get to share my experiences, my faith, and my education with students.
Absolutely filthy goal there. Boom goes the dynamite.
Welcome back to YBTV Sports. I'm Brandon Cruz.
And I'm Danny Johnson. Messiah Women's Tennis had their first match of the season this weekend, traveling to Shippensburg University. The Falcons battled hard against a strong Raiders team, picking up wins on 2 singles courts from Kiara Bomboy and Kylie Walker, but ultimately falling 5-2 overall.
And Messiah Cross Country was also back in action this weekend, with the team traveling to Kutztown University for the Kutztown Division II and III Invitational. The women were the lone Division III team at the meet, but they finished 3rd overall, while the men finished 4th and were the highest finishing Division III team.
Now it's time to jump into the highlights with this week's edition of the Falcon 4.
It's you.
Our first highlight of the night comes from Shoemaker Field, where the men's soccer team took on the Dickinson Red Devils last Wednesday night. The Falcons came into the contest ranked 3rd in the country and had a tough matchup on their hands with 14th ranked Dickinson. The Red Devils were attacking hard offensively when Adam Carter picked up this nice save. The Devils just trying to dribble around all of the Messiah players, and a great diving save there by Adam Carter. Wasn't expecting that one, I'm sure, but nonetheless getting 2 hands on that one, knocking it aside so that the Falcons don't have to worry about that one with taking the next corner. But the Falcons unfortunately fell to the Red Devils in a tight matchup 2-1. Dickinson put in a strong matchup as they were attacking, but the team will get another look at the men's in just a little bit.
For our second highlight of the night, we are going to stay at Shoemaker Field, where on Wednesday afternoon, women's soccer took on the Green Terror of McDaniel College. About midway through the first half, the Falcons looked to strike first, and they would in remarkable fashion. Falcons looking to attack here. Ball gets back out, but Messiah jumps on that, and right here, great shot in, and the header by Adair. That was, if you take a look at it here, great placement here, perfectly placed. Adair gets her head right on that one, puts it in, and that would put the Falcons up 1-0. But the woman wouldn't stop there in this. Unfortunately, the woman wouldn't stop there. They would win 2-0, but I'll let Danny finish up this contest.
As Brandon said, the women were not done in this one, as in the second half, they looked to double their lead, and Caitlin Laird did just that. A great cross by Libby, and Caitlin Laird able to get a touch on it right past the goalie there. Caitlin Laird, probably really skilled play there for her, as a great top off the head by one of her teammates and just shanks it right into the back of the goal. And Laird would end the scoring for the night, as the Falcons would pick up the 2-0 win over the ranked Green Terror before finishing their week at William Smith College, where they would lose a close matchup 1-0. The team is back in action at Penn State Berks on Wednesday night.
And for our final highlight of the night, we go to men's soccer in their matchup against the Seagulls of Salisbury University. Down 2-0 in the second half, the Falcons looked to cut the lead in half, and they did thanks to this incredible goal by Grant Schreiner. Messiah looking to get some kind of momentum here. A shot, great save by Salisbury, but Schreiner, 1-2, puts it in the back of the net. His first collegiate goal, and it is a beauty, as you see, great handling and really smoothly into that. That would cut the lead in half, but unfortunately, the Falcons could not come all the way back, as they ended up losing this game by a score of 3-1. Men's soccer is back in action on Wednesday, where they will travel to E-Town for this year's edition of the Marshmallow Bowl.
Last week, we showed you some of the behind-the-scenes action that takes place here at Messiah in the athletic department. But YBTV Sports also gets to have some fun with the athletes as well. This week, our very own James Hellman joined Ethan Gregory, a member of YBTV as well, as the Messiah men's soccer team for a challenge against starting goalkeeper Adam Carter.
Hi, I'm Ethan Gregory from the Messiah men's soccer team, as well as YBTV Sports, and today we have a little matchup. Messiah men's soccer versus YBTV Sports, James versus Adam, and a 5-shot penalty shootout here. James gets 5 shots, and we'll see if he can make at least 3, while Adam is trying to limit his chances to 0. So, boys, let's have a good match, fellas. Let's go. From James, around 12 yards away, we'll see where this one goes. On the whistle. Wow, and James slots one top left. Adam, he didn't really have much there for that one. Adam, what did you think about that one right there?
We just got one. I'm kind of impressed. His practice shot was pretty awful, and yeah, that was
all right.
Bad.
Awful.
That was not bad.
Awful. All right. 1 for 1 so far. James slotted one perfectly in the top left corner. Adam had no chance there. All right, we'll see what he can do on the second one.
He's ready for it.
Oh, he goes left again.
Back to it.
What do we think on that one? Why was that one so tough to handle?
I mean, he just fakes one way with his hips, closes it, goes the other way. But you know, this time you just gotta guess and shoot, flipping coins here.
Yeah, it's true. All right.
See, but now it's mine.
Hey.
See now it's mind games.
Yeah. Are you gonna go left?
Are we going back there? Right there? Right there? All right.
Oh, you skied that one. Adam still got a chance.
He got in my head. Oh, that ball's gone.
You might as well get a video of that one. That one was nuked.
That ball's gone. You got there eventually. Find that
I found it.
Where are we going here?
All right, I need to go. I usually go top right.
Okay. Okay.
All right, shot number 4 from 12 out on the whistle. Oh, James, you got one more chance.
I thought you were telling him to go straight down the middle, so I thought he was waiting for it.
Man, that was like almost almost perfect.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty
That was
impressive.
great.
I'm not gonna lie.
You didn't think it was going there?
I didn't think you were gonna get that close. All right, we got a 2-2 score line right now. At the beginning, we asked James if he could maybe make 3, and he's got one more chance to do so. Adam 2, James 2. The game is on the line. Messiah Men's Soccer versus YBTV Sports. Who's gonna win? It all comes down to this one right here. James from 12 yards out. Adam in goal. Adam, you better stay on the line. For all the marbles, Messiah Men's Soccer versus YBTV Sports. Let's see who gets the dub. All right, on the whistle. Oh, YBTV Sports. No! All right.
That's what I expected to happen the first 5 times.
Did you know anything there? Did you read his hips, his eyes?
I mean, we had a little eye glance to that side. I knew he was loving that last shot, so why not go for it again? But
yeah, that was pretty impressive, James. Congrats, 2 goals. That's pretty good, brother.
Hey, that's better than I expected. Great work.
So that's all, folks. YBTV Sports takes the L, unfortunately, and Messiah Men's Soccer on top. Thanks for watching, and yeah, give us a thumbs up if you like it.
That was such a fun watch. I'm really impressed at how well James did. I was not expecting that. He did awesome. And Brandon, I remember when you practiced with the wrestling team a couple semesters ago, and that was great. Danny, is there anybody who you would like to go head-to-head with?
So I've thought about this a lot, especially with everybody else who's sports anchoring and trying to get some head-to-head action going, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with the women's volleyball team. So
that'll be a fun one.
You'll have to stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Well, that's all for Falcon Update. But stay tuned. Caleb Kukin is hosting YB Tonight.
What's up, Brandon?
What was that all about?
Brandon, I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about? All with the slow-mo and the music and the being very, very dramatic.
Brandon, I just walked in here normally.
No, you did not. You were being so weird about it. I don't know. Where is that music coming from? What is going on?
Maybe I should just go walk back in and see if it happens again?
Okay, do that. See, that has happened every time you've walked in here, like 4 or 5 times, all with the music and being over dramatic. How can you not notice that?
Brandon, I think you're just imagining things.
Are you kidding me?
Good evening and welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm your host, Caleb Kukin. First on the show, we have Becca Nicholson, who will answer some questions and do a timed painting. After that, we have Darcy Foreman and Josh Cook from Messiah Men's and Women's Ultimate Frisbee teams. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break.
Messiah definitely gave me an idea of what my future could look like. It gave me a vision for all the possibilities that existed for my life through the example of alumni, other students that were just a little bit ahead of me in coursework, the professors that came before me and maybe have graduated from Messiah. There's just such a community that existed and a model of success that was proven time and time again through Messiah. And so that was kind of one of the reasons why I chose to come here and why I continue to love it.
Welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm here with Becca Nicholson. Becca, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. And so you're an artist. So could you tell me a little bit about your background in the arts?
Yeah, so growing up, my mom was an art teacher and I was homeschooled. So I spent a lot of time at home with her, just like learning different techniques and different mediums that I would not have usually had access to, which was really exciting for me. And I did a lot of art in high school. I took AP classes and things like that, did some dual enrollment. I got to take some college classes in high school, which was really exciting for me as well. And so I was applying to a bunch of different art schools, and Messiah was like one of the top ones on my list. So I was really excited when I got to come into the studios here.
Yeah, so you're doing art here at Messiah. What is kind of your plan post-college with art or even without art?
Yeah, huge question. Yeah. I think I'm kind of in the same boat with a lot of art majors where we're not really sure what jobs are going to come our way. It's a common myth that you're not going to make money as an artist. There's many people who are successfully making lots and lots of money as artists. So for me, I'm kind of interested in illustration. So I've done a lot of children's book illustration, doing commissioned work, things like that, or doing my own projects on the side. I'm also interested in mural painting on larger scale, working in the theater. I've done a lot of set painting in high school. That was one of my big things, was I would do theater projects, and me and my mom would make like the Shakespeare sets for all the plays that my friends were in. So I'm really not sure which direction kind of the Lord's going to take me, but I'm really open to whatever comes my way, and whatever jobs come my way, I want to try them out.
Yeah, it's awesome. You mentioned mural painting and set painting. Are either of those two your preferred style of painting, or is it maybe something else that you really prefer, like that's kind of your specialty?
Yeah, well, I have a huge passion for sketchbooking actually, and I find it a really beautiful sort of meditative practice. It's kind of like journaling for me, and it's also self-exploration, but also a way of kind of understanding the world. So that's something that I'm really fascinated about, the way people can kind of turn sketchbooks into like larger scale projects where it can be a publishable book and things where people can like kind of learn about the way that different people's lives work, different people's minds work. I think that's a really beautiful thing. So I really love that. I also really love portrait painting, things like that. And I mean, I've really tried my hand at a lot of different stuff. I've done some woodworking and sculpture, and I love that as well. Anything where I kind of find a way to turn something that's happening in my life into an art project, or find ways to kind of intertwine different studio practices with daily practices. That's like really where my heart is drawn to with art.
Wow, yeah. And this question here might be like asking a parent who their favorite kid is. And you mentioned the amount of stuff you do, but do you have a favorite piece that you've ever worked on?
Oh my gosh. I think my all-time favorite was probably a piece that I made last fall when I was at Messiah here. We had just like a painting one class, and for the final it was very open-ended. We could kind of choose what we wanted to do. And I never really had a chance to do oil painting before, but I really fell in love with it over that semester, working away at it. And so for my final piece, I did a massive painting of my friend that was like 4 feet by 5 feet, I think. And it was about kind of the tensions in our friendship, where I'm more religious than her. And so we often are having these conversations about how we're so spiritually intertwined and in the same wavelength of what we believe and what we see and feel spiritually and emotionally. And then at the same time, we're constantly having a conversation about, do you need to have some kind of practiced religion in your life, or do you need to just like have your heart in the right place? And what that kind of conversation has been like And I'd been spending the whole semester as well doing this illustration project where I was illustrating a church I was going to. So in the background of the painting, there's like a huge church that I painted, and it's very abstracted. And then it was just her face right up in the front. And so I spent a lot of like late nights in the studio making this like massive painting of her face. And it was really, really, it was a huge, very ambitious project for me, but it was a huge accomplishment when I finished it. So it's hanging in my parents' kitchen right now. It's just like my friend's face, and everyone's like, we know your friend. They think she's famous. I'm like, she's just my friend. It's great. Yeah.
So you mentioned that was a little bit more abstract of a painting, you said. So speaking of like abstract artists, you have like Picasso and stuff like that. So what, who is your favorite artist, or who do you kind of take inspiration from as an artist?
There's so many. You know, I think a lot of artists will speak as well to this, but I think art itself is such a powerful thing in so many people's lives, and so I think a lot of my inspiration comes from musical artists as well. I read a lot of poetry, and I listen to a lot of different types of music. And so I think those things, and I love, you know, going out to see dances when I have the opportunity, things like that, people who compose music. There's so many different practices that I think truly give me a place that gives me confidence to create from. I think in terms of visual artists, somebody who I've been really fascinated by lately is Clifford Still. He was an abstract impressionist in the 1940s, basically, and he was one of the people who really started making abstract work that really had no subject. It was just completely just these fields of color on a canvas that kind of went on forever, essentially, was sort of the idea of it. And his entire studio practice was basically about believing that art has the power to kind of draw us into a state of awe that gives us some kind of really human connection and like a universal understanding of color and what creation and what looking at beautiful things like means to people. And so I just have been really moved by that idea. It was so, again, so ambitious of him to be like, I'm gonna really make artwork that's has no subject but has the capacity to really change people's lives and like give them this really profound experience. So yeah, I'm really fascinated by modern artists and people who kind of have that vision that's like so beyond their time, but they really are passionate and spend their whole life doing it. So
well, I can respect that, because there's a lot of times I'll look at art and other people will be talking about what this means to them, and I'll just look at it and I'm like, that just looks like a paint splatter to me or something like that. So it's like,
hey, it means something different for everyone, and that's the beauty of it, right?
Everyone kind of just has their own kind of interpretation of it. So
yeah, truly.
Yeah. Truly. And you kind of talked about how that kind of inspired you and stuff like that. And how can you hope to inspire maybe younger artists or aspiring artists?
Yeah, great question. I think a lot of what has been really powerful for me and that I really seek to do for younger artists is being really vocal about what it is that makes my art mean something to me, being really vocal about what my artist's process looks like, because everybody kind of has a different way of seeing the world, of creating, of being inspired, and kind of taking things that are really speaking to them and then turning that into something. And I think it's so easy for artists to be insecure about, well, how do I know that my process is actually valid or like actually has meaning in the world? And so I think just verbalizing and explaining to people how I make a piece, why it means something to me, what the inspiration came from, and how I'm interpreting different things in my life that maybe seem disconnected or random, and explaining how I see a connection and like what the whole process has been of making a piece. Just really explaining that kind of thing to somebody can really give them the strength to be like, oh, I experienced that same thing, and that's how I make too, and that's valid. So I think, being really, really open, and I really believe in open communication, like in every area of life. I think it's really powerful to be willing to be vulnerable about stuff. So yeah, just talking about how I make stuff, why I make stuff, and just proving that it's valid by like expressing it.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Any young aspiring artists out there, take her advice. I think she knows what she's talking about. So we're gonna see a little bit of your art at the end of the show. Is there anywhere on campus that students here could see your art on display?
I don't have any work up right now in any of the galleries or anything, but I have work in the studios that I'm constantly working on. So people are always free to stop by the studios in Fry. I'm in like the printmaking studio this year, and I'm in an abstraction class as well. So we're in Fry 171, and the other one across the hall. I can't remember the name of the number of it. But people can always come by the studios and see what we're working on. It's kind of cool to see people in the middle of stuff. So
yeah. And is there anything that we missed today that you'd like to talk about?
One of my amazing professors, Brenton Good, he has a show up right now in Kleimanhaga in the Glass Gallery. And so he's got a bunch of really beautiful works that are inspired by his time that he spent in Italy last year. He was on sabbatical, and I just lived there last spring for a study abroad, and I got to experience a lot of the same things as him. So I would say go take a look at the paintings in Kleimanhaga. They're really beautiful, really just, they're abstracted, so you're not going to see anything like that you visually recognize, but they have a really beautiful spirit and kind of contemplation and meditation to them, and his color palettes are very calming. Kind of look like a Pinterest board, but like really fancy, so highly recommend. Yeah.
You heard Becca, go check out the art in Kleimanhanga. Changing gears for a little bit here, like we mentioned, we're gonna have Becca go right over here actually, and we're gonna give her 15 minutes to paint. One of our crew members, not sure who you've chosen yet, but one of our crew members is gonna get painted. And after her 15 minutes is up, we'll bring her back out here to reveal her painting. And while you're completing that, we're gonna have Darcy Foreman and Josh Cook as they'll be joining us for some Frisbee fun.
I've always had a strong love of the business world, but I always wanted to keep on growing my faith. And what Messiah helped me do was pair my faith with business so I could be a Christian in the workplace. The professors were role models of how to do that. What I learned in class taught me the interpersonal skills and the hard skills of how to carry my faith with me. I really felt prepared to take two things that I loved, my faith and business, and pair that together moving forward. Messiah has helped me see my career anew because of the multiple opportunities that I have on campus to travel with the career centers. And so because of that, I've been able to obtain an internship through Messiah, and that's just amazing. I never would have gotten that opportunity without Messiah.
Back. I'm here with Darcy Foreman and Josh Cook. How are you two doing tonight?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, so can you guys tell me a little bit about your respective clubs?
Yeah, so I am a new captain of the Women's Ultimate Frisbee Club. We have practices twice a week and go to a couple tournaments throughout the year. Our big season is in the spring, but this semester we're hoping to get a couple tournaments in the end of October and beginning of November.
Yeah, the men's team is pretty similar to how the women's team is run. Practices twice a week, and we have a couple of tournaments in the fall, a couple in the spring, and yeah, just very excited to get back to it.
So what do your guys' practices typically look like? Like, what is it? What do you guys do on? What, you practice Tuesdays, Thursdays?
That's the men's team, yeah.
Men's team?
Yeah.
What do you guys do in your practices?
So we typically start out with a 10 to 15 minute warm up, just running around, getting stretching, getting loose, doing a couple throwing drills, because Ultimate is a very physically demanding sport. And then from there, we do a couple of drills, practice our offensive and defensive schemes, and then the last 45 minutes to an hour, we usually just play Ultimate.
Yeah, ours are pretty similar. We start out throwing, just like throwing back and forth, getting comfortable with it. We got a lot of new freshmen and just new people this year, so that's what we've been working on. The first couple practices, it's just been like helping them get acclimated to the sport, learning to throw and all of that. And then, yeah, we've been able to get like more into drills and like the strategy of the game, and then, yeah, we play just at the end of the practice, so.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
And we're gonna take a quick little break here because we got Becca over here who started on her portrait, so we're gonna look over and see what she's doing. Yep, there she is right next to us, working hard over there. All right, back to you guys over here. So can you tell me a little bit about your post-college plans and maybe what this Ultimate Frisbee Club's, maybe if that's affected any of your post-college plans or it's just for fun?
Yeah, for me, post-college, probably going to start teaching history, social studies, somewhere around here, hopefully, but I wasn't planning on having Ultimate be a part of my post-college career, if you will, before coming here, but after like being here and being the current vice president, soon to be president, it's definitely has given me a lot, and so I definitely want to give it back to the community.
Yeah, I'm in the pre-physical therapy track.
Okay.
So I might go on to doctoral school after this. I don't know if I'd stay at Messiah or go somewhere else. But I know there are like a lot of, I feel like Ultimate's become like a much bigger thing in the past several years. And there's a lot of like leagues or just like different tournaments that you can play in. So post-grad, I don't know if I'd continue just because I don't know what the future looks like, but it's a great way to stay active and to just be on a team. That's my favorite part, like just hanging out with the girls on the team.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask that. So there are types of leagues you can play in after college, organized Ultimate Frisbee leagues after college?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know the women's coach, Kristen Thomas, she plays for a team in Philadelphia.
Okay.
So she has like, I don't know, every Tuesday I think she drives all the way out there and they have like practices. And then we also have 2 assistant coaches who, I don't know, they play different games together. They travel the country.
Wow.
It seems pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. And how have you guys seen Ultimate Frisbee kind of be a way to affect maybe people around campus? Like you said, maybe help build relationships with you and your teammates?
Yeah, it's been a great way to welcome in freshmen,
yeah,
first years who maybe don't like want to get involved in something and they want to be active with whatever they do on campus, but don't really know how to do that. And so when I came in, I really appreciated the way that the upperclassmen welcomed me in as someone who could barely throw a Frisbee and didn't know what was going on. And yeah, it's just a great way to build a community of people that are close to God and close to each other and like to have fun.
Yeah, I was involved in team sports like growing up. I played soccer in high school. And so when I came here, I really missed like having the team dynamic and just, I don't know, my soccer team, I went to a small Christian school, so we never were very good at sports. I think I played for 3 years and we won like 3 games at a time. So it was rough. But my favorite part was like we'd get back on the bus after like away games, after losing like total blowout. It was depressing in the moment, but like we'd get back on the bus, hit up a Wawa, and it would just be like, I don't know, we'd be like bopping out to different songs. Yep. So coming to college, it was really hard like leaving that community behind, leaving like my home community. And so I found Ultimate to be like a great way to get involved. Like obviously like it's only 2 days a week, 2 practices a week, but you're still like being active, you're hanging out with people, and I don't know, just like sweating together. I feel like sweating together is such a great way to build camaraderie. So that's been like one of my favorite parts, is getting to know all the new people each year, and yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, and what kind of experience does it take to join the Ultimate Frisbee Club? I know, Josh, you said you didn't really have any experience at all, so is that kind of, if any student, if you just want that type of community, it's a really good opportunity, even if you don't necessarily know how to throw a Frisbee?
Oh yeah, we have people join all throughout the year.
Okay.
So we'll have people like come do their first practice a week or 2 before a tournament, and they'll be playing against different colleges that weekend. And it's so awesome to see those people take those leaps and strides and just be welcomed into our very amazing community.
Sometimes it's best to just throw them into the fire, right?
Oh, absolutely.
We're going to take another little look here at Becca, as looks like she's made quite a good amount of progress over there. If you want to show it up to the camera above you, I don't know if they can really see it. Yeah, there we go. She's working hard over there, and now we'll go right back to you guys. What's one lesson that you guys might take away after college from playing on this team, or your Ultimate Frisbee team?
Ooh.
That's a good question. I think it was a big step for me joining the team. I had a difficult time acclimating to college freshman year, because I guess I'd grown up around the same people my entire life and had never really had to make like new friends. So it was a big step, like coming somewhere new and like being around all new people. So I think one thing it really taught me was like how to put myself out there and like, yeah, just be myself around new people that I don't have a background with. And yeah, I feel like it's grown me in confidence a lot, which sounds kind of cheesy, but like, I don't know, it's been good for me as a person to put myself out there, like grow in leadership too, because yeah, it's just been neat to see the changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll definitely second that leadership thing, and more so just showing other people the ropes of things that you're not really even sure how to do. So this week we're teaching our first years our offensive schemes, and even like my third year playing, I'm not really even sure like everything that's supposed to happen, but still like I'm supposed to be out there showing everyone the ropes and just kind of yeah.
Yeah, so you guys, like you mentioned, you're in these leadership roles trying to show people the ropes. So what advice would you give someone who's maybe thinking about starting to learn ultimate frisbee?
Go for it. That's yeah, just go for it. We love having anyone come that wants to try, even if it's not to play competitively for us, just to be around the team and practice with us. It's just such a fun time. I look forward to it every week, and then coming back from breaks, that's like my one thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we're planning to start up, or we're hoping to start up a Bible study for the girls' team.
Oh, nice.
Meeting like maybe every other Saturday morning. We still have to like nail down details and what we'll be doing. But I'm really excited for that because again, like coming from like my sports background at my like small Christian school, that was such a big like part of the team. It's just our shared faith, and I've definitely seen that grow in the team, like the ultimate team. Just like, yeah, having a shared faith, like this is why, I don't know, we come together to like play the sport, but I feel like more so it's such a great community. So many strong Christians on the girls team, and I'm sure the boys team as well. So, yeah.
Nice. I know you guys are more of a spring sport, but do you guys have any upcoming games or tournaments that you will be competing in this fall?
Yeah, the men's team is traveling to New Jersey in 2 weekends for our first tournament, and we're really looking forward to that. And then we have 2 more coming up in November after fall break.
Nice.
Yeah, we're still trying to nail down like the dates for some of the things, but I think the end of November or the beginning of November, we have like our first tournament planned, and then maybe some scrimmages before that. But yeah.
Nice. So when do the ultimate frisbee teams usually meet for anybody that might be interested in joining?
Yeah, the women's team, we meet Wednesday nights from 6:30 to 8:30, and then Thursday afternoon/evening from like 4 to 6. And then Thursday's really fun because we have practice. We're on the upper baseball fields on Thursday, and then afterwards, whoever's available, we all go to Lottie for dinner. So that's been a really fun way to like grow community.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for us, we have practices on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 on the lacrosse turf. And then Thursdays are fun because we also are starting a Bible study. Thursdays, 5:30, 6:30. And then we go right from there and go to practice 7 to 9 on the lacrosse turf. And we're doing our first ever mini league where we have 3-on-3 instead of 7-on-7. And we're doing that Friday nights as well.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Is there anything I missed maybe about what you guys want to talk about your club, or maybe a final pitch maybe to get some people to join?
Well, I was told to give a shout out to my co-captains, Kayla Meals and Faith Richard. So Kayla and Faith, if you're watching this is your shout out. And also, yeah, we would love more people on the women's team. We have a good number coming out now, but we could always use more. Great to get numbers up for tournaments and practices. So if you're interested in being active, come on out on Wednesday night. Not this Wednesday night. Come out on Thursday this week.
Yeah, same goes for the guys. We're looking to have a second team go to these tournaments that we're going to. So if you're interested in anything, whether it's community, whether it's competitiveness, whether it's just being active, come out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We would absolutely love to have you.
All right, you heard them. Thank you so much for answering my questions. Next up, we're going to check out what Becca Nicholson has been doing and what she's been painting. And while we talk with them, actually, it looks like she's made some pretty good progress. So we'll be right back after this short break.
It's very rare to find a Master's of Music program that has this online component along with great flexibility.
The graduate programs in music at Messiah University consist of a Master of Music and Conducting and a Master of Music Education. The graduate program is the largest of its kind that is a NASM accredited program in the United States.
I enjoyed that the program gave me the opportunity to have so many hands-on experiences, even if it was an online class. I was practicing my conducting. I was getting real feedback from professors on how I was doing with those skills.
Messiah University has been teaching online for over 10 years. That gives us the experience that we need to really have those personal moments with our students no matter where they are.
It's flexible and the quality of the education is unparalleled. One of the things that I love the most is that the professors build personal connections with their students.
Time after time, relationships are forged between students and faculty alike, and those relationships stand the test of time.
You're watching YBTV.
Amazon, they blessed me maybe twice, which is fine, but they didn't really feel it.
Mike. Oh, that's actually so cute.
That is really good. How did you do that so quick?
Never
Dang.
done something like that before.
Nice job.
It's amazing. There we go.
You did great. Yeah, there we go.
Let's see how close that looks. Yeah, nice job. I mean, for how quick you had to work on that, I mean, that's pretty impressive. Mine probably would have looked like a stick figure or something with the time we gave you. But can you just tell us a little bit about the piece and maybe your process in doing like a portrait?
Yeah. I love the shirt that you're wearing today,
Oh,
Dylan,
thank you.
actually,
I
because I love
appreciate
like some bold yellow colors. I think that's really fun and playful. So my process was basically starting with a sketch so I could kind of get the areas blocked out, and then just filling in some bright colors, because when you don't have a lot of time, you're just kind of thinking about what's going to give you a good impression of like what you're looking at. So yeah, I just went for some bold color blocks. Loving the yellow. Facts. Yeah. Best model of the day. Yeah, he's looking great.
Yeah, I mean, that is very impressive. And thank you so much for coming on the show and painting that. I mean, a live demonstration, that's a lot of pressure, but you did it. I mean,
It was great. The pleasure is mine.
I mean, this
Had a
was
great
so
time.
much fun. Well, Messiah, that is all we have time for. I hope you have a great rest of your night.